And welcome, guys, to the first ever 5 Reasons 5R Sneaks show. For anyone that says, well, what does sneaks mean? Well, obviously, it's a shortened word for sneakers. Let me just start out by saying that I'm 33, and I fell in love with sneakers because my father was a shoe store manager for, I want to say, nearly 30, 40 years. And let's just say I was surrounded by a stockroom full of kicks everywhere. And whatever the case is. So I guess that's one of the things that actually got me very interested in the shoe game per se. I have with me Paul Austria, who will be one of our co-hosts as well, which we're going to try to do this, guys, every single week. We're going to talk about the sneakers that are coming out. We're going to talk about what, if we copped any during the week, and then obviously anything else going on. Paul, thank you for joining us. We were going to have other people, but listen, we get it, right? Things happen. So what got you first into sneakers, and what made you just say, you know what, this is something that I'm really that I really love to do, per se?
I think that for me, it was mostly like, well, I was a big fan of history back in school. That was kind of one of my favorite subjects. And I was also a big basketball fan, watching, like, I grew up watching, like, probably like the Lakers back in like late 90s, early 2000s. And
Mr. Magic Johnson was wearing those Converse.
Not that deep.
Which I'm still trying to figure out how Magic Johnson and Larry Bird played in those high top Converse.
Those things
because holy crap,
flat. Like there's no protection and structure with it. And it's like if you see people wearing those now, you're just like, you can't believe that people actually played. Like those are like the OG basketball shoes.
Correct.
But so basically for me, it was that, like, it was these shoes connected history with basketball together, because you look back, especially with all the Kobe's releasing lately, RIP to one of the greatest, that that a lot of these shoes that you wore, like he wore at this game, or even with Jordans, you look at the Flu Game 12s, you look at the
Final Shot,
the Breads that he wore in the finals. It kind of combined history basketball for me, which I was really intrigued. And then I think even like going up to, like, I had a thing for streetwear, I guess, urban wear. So it was kind of cool, like finding the right shoes to go with the right outfit. I kind of like, I want to say it's a challenge, but in a way it was a challenge. So, I think that, and I think because I didn't even think about like the value of shoes either, because I got involved in shoes, I think, right when, I guess, sneakerhead culture kind of took off, like maybe like 2012, 2013.
Oh wow!
I remember like the first re-releases I really like tracked, and I was like, yo, I want to try, I want to see if I can get any of these. Was the Galaxy pack, with the Galaxy foams, the Big Bang LeBrons, what else?
By the way, those shoes back in the day, there was no StockX, there was no GOAT. So if you just happen to walk in on a Saturday morning, guess what? They were already there, right?
Yeah,
so,
you did the camp for those too. Like it was.
Oh, you did the camp for those? Oh yeah. I mean, for me, I always started camping for Jordans. I think I want to go back 2002, the year I graduated. Oh no, the first year I actually started high school. So
I think around that time too.
Yeah,
no, but when it kind of started.
Yeah, but no, you're absolutely right. To me, what drew to me was what the shoe meant and the story with it, right? And I think that's the thing that's happening. That's not happening though right now. It's people are just buying the shoes just to buy them, and whether they have a bot or not, they just don't care. It's like, well, I know that's hot because it's unlimited, and we all know that with COVID happening, stores are not going to get the full shipment. It's going to come out 50 here, 50 there, and then you're going to basically just have to wait for them. But to me, I actually fell in love with knowing that was the last shot. That was Michael Jordan's last his shoe that he wore for the Bulls that won him his last championship, right?
Yeah.
I remember in '96, my mom bought me the first ever Grant Hill Filas, right? Those shoes, Grant Hill Filas. That my mom, I think she spent about $150 maybe, and those shoes to me was just gold, right? I would wear them to school, but I'd be so upset when I get home because every single day I would see like another scuff. Like, damn it, sorry, mom, I can only take care of them. And then, but it's just those things that, and then obviously with, my father being a shoe store manager, things like that, he'll always bring me to help him out on the weekends, and just being surrounded by like shoes every single day. And I think that's what I think Nike does still a little bit good is try to give a story behind every shoe, but we've seen it now, right? It's like, well, if the shoe sells, I don't care. It's gonna make money for us, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
There's so many Air Jordan 1 silhouettes, right? Because that is to me as well what started it all. The Air Jordan 1 has become that shoe that no matter what color is on it, no matter what type of material, suede, nubuck, leather, it doesn't matter. Okay, Nike knows it's gonna sell, even if it's absolutely atrocious. It's gonna.
I say for any sneakerhead, or at least anyone that's getting into sneakers, I feel like at least in the if there was a sneakerhead Bible, per se, you need a pair of Jordan 1s in your collection. Like you need.
I would agree.
Like you, I feel like I mean, I know they're expensive as hell. Like the thing is, like now, I think you have the Shadow 2.0s coming out either this weekend or really tomorrow. Yeah, you can get that.
By the way, if you're one of those living in Miami on that sneakers app, and every time you get the little message, oh, you can go ahead and make your reservations early. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. That sneakers app is only connected to one Nike store in South Florida, and that damn store is all the way in Miami Beach.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I never get a reservation. If you live if you're in the 305 and if you're a sneakerhead like us, and if you've ever gotten a reservation from that Nike store in Miami Beach, which is the only store on the East Coast that gives to us an art location, please let me know. Because
we don't. Like you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like, oh, East Coast reservations, and you look at the Miami site, it's one freaking store.
Yeah.
How are you going to have a reservation on the East Coast, Miami, one store? I don't know. I'm sorry. I guess I'm pissing me off. Well, listen, you know what? Listen, it is what it is. But of course, to me, back in the day, there wasn't a GOAT. There wasn't a StockX. So if you really wanted a shoe, you either had to know somebody that worked at a Foot Location, or you really had to pay overpriced to someone that say, hey, listen, I have this pair of your size. I'm gonna have to listen. I have to make money, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, nowadays kids just go on there. Like, dude, you ask any young kid, right, that has gotten shoes in the last 5 months. Let's say if it's a Jordan 1 or even a Jordan 11, ask them. Really, ask them. What does that shoe mean to you? And they'll look at you and be like, well, it's a Jordan.
It looks cool. It looks nice, shiny.
It looks great with tight pants, nice jeans with a jersey, and that's it. And that's the part that just irritates me, is that these young kids don't understand, and it sucks, right? To me, it's not their fault. To me, I think Nike and Adidas has done a piss poor job on trying to give these young fans that are now sneakerheads that are 20, 21, just wasting their money like we used to do. Yeah. They're giving them a piss poor performance on an introduction on why is it the Air Jordan 1 is so popular, on why is it that, even the 11s, right? Because we all know about the story with those. He retired, went to play baseball, came back, and all of a sudden he played with those for the first time against the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, any kid that is wearing a Jordan Retro 11 that's under the age of 25 probably has no idea about that. But again,
there's a big story behind it too, because like that was the first basketball shoe that had patent leather on it, like that shiny leather that wraps around the shoe. And I mean, especially in today's world, like you mentioned, you brought up the streetwear thing, where those things look good with a lot. Like if you have a pair of slim straight, flexible skinny jeans, and that shine leather, that patent leather shines. And I think also I think that was the first shoe that was like carbon fiber on it, if I'm not mistaken. If anyone's watching, definitely check me on that. But that was a big deal back then. Yeah, it was one of the first. Like it really,
because I have a pair of the 11 breads here, and I never realized I had some chrome or some.
The carbon fiber is
really.
There. Yeah, it's under and it's
you feel like getting me all like excited. I feel like going and grabbing one and showing you. See if
that's what I'm saying. Those shoes were a big deal when they came out, and I think I learned this. I think when I still can't get over how you probably remember how crazy the Concord 11 release in 2011 was. Like, people were breaking down doors and like.
Well, the one pair that I knew it was difficult for me to get was the Space Jams twice when they released. Because everybody had just watched Space Jam, obviously, and those are the ones that you wore. Yeah. And if you remember, the NBA told Jordan when he first wore those against the Magic, you can't wear shoes like that, right? It has to be all
Yeah.
black. It can't just be pan black with the white leather. So Nike went back and just made an all black shoe. And recently, that same summer is when he went on to California and he recorded Space Jam with those all black 11s, which are now known as Space Jams. But yeah, it's just those little things that I wish more sneakerheads that are younger than us, can actually, know the reasons to it. But I get it. It is what it is. I mean, for them nowadays, it's all about the Adidas. It's about Yeezys, right? It's about, they don't care. They don't care what Yeezy color. They don't care about the model.
Yeah.
Listen, I would admit, I wasn't a huge Yeezy guy, and my girlfriend might laugh here in the background. I would always tell her, that's some ugly ass shit right there. I would always tell her,
the Adidas
that's the shoe that Kanye West left Nike for to make.
Oh, okay.
And then I would say, like 2 years later, here I am loving the 350s. I really don't know what to say.
They're comfy, man. And I think just even,
you know what? I tried to tell her that. And she always laughs at me. She always laughs at me. She's like, listen, you did not get these shoes for comfort.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
comfy though.
But yeah, guys, listen, this is basically the topic of conversation that we're always going to have weekly. Just make sure to hit up to tweet at us. You have our handles down there. If you have any questions or whatnot, as the show builds, as it gains traction, we would like to invite one or two guests on to show us their collection per se, because I think it's very important that you guys go get out there and show us the meaning on why what that shoe means to you, right? Like I know for me, not getting the UNC 4s, it hurt pretty deep, and it wasn't because I missed out on the release or whatever, because I always tried to find a UNC retro Jordan to me that meant, wow, like Michael Jordan came from the University of Carolina, right? Like those are things that you should know. If you don't know that, I really don't know what else to tell you, which then tells me that you're just a person with 5,000 bucks and tries to buy everything.
You were born like 10 years ago, I think.
Or basically born like 10 years ago. So, yeah. But Paul, let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into the upcoming sneaker releases. Obviously, before the show, we were just talking about this, right? So if you love Kobe, and if Kobe Bryant was your Michael Jordan, like he was to me, I'm sure to Paul, Undefeated is coming out with a dedication all-star sneaker to Kobe. Let me bring it up here on screen. Paul, out of a lot of individuals, which I seem to not understand how in the hell I have not gotten an email at any raffle. So Paul has gotten a really, really wonderful opportunity of purchasing these right here.
Yes, I do. And I'm so excited for these. I'm a sucker.
I mean, I'm just pissed because I can't win on a sneakers app. I can't win on the damn email raffle. I really don't know what else to do. I don't know what else
you
to
get
do.
the worst. I don't know if Kobe doesn't want you to have his shoes. I know you were trying to get the Grinches back then as well, man. He's I don't know, man, but I'm honestly very excited for the shoe. The thing is, like, I don't really rock, because I would say I have a really solid Kobe collection, humbly speaking. And the thing is, I don't really rock Kobe's casually, because like I've always loved how they feel on the court. I remember like I had a pair of the Sixes back in high school, and I wore that for basketball and for volleyball. That was a great shoe. I remember like I put them on for the first time and I was like, okay, these are not bad. Like I could still rock with these. And then the second time, like the shoe I guess molded to my foot, so it felt like the shoe was like literally one part. It was like my foot and my shoe were just one part together, if that makes sense. It was synonymous. But I think the 5 is. I think people were telling me like, yeah, if you love the 6s, you should try the 5s, and the 5s are great too. And if you guys see on the left shoe on the red swoosh, you see that 24, 10, and 8. So there's each number that he's worn throughout his career. So 24 and 8 with the Lakers, and then 10 as a member of the.
Oh wow, that's actually a really, really neat detail. Very nice.
And then even I think the outside left swoosh is red, and then the medial swoosh on the right shoe is red, and then the left medial swoosh is purple, while the right outside swoosh is purple. I just love it. It's a lot of gold on there. It's a lot of gold. Nike, well, Kobe specifically too. Kobe and Undefeated have had a long-standing relationship over the past few years. I mean, also last year with the What If pack, that I also hit on as well. Great pack.
All right, that's it. I'm done. I swear, man, I can't hit on any of these. Listen, if you're watching us right now, and if you've been able to hit on sneakers for the last 3 months on two cops, please let me know what I'm doing wrong. Do I have to change my gender to female? Do I have to change my size? Maybe do I have to put a picture of Nike as my default? Like I really don't know what else I need to do. Okay, I'm sorry.
Speaking of
I'm just
sneakers, though, because I feel like sneakers changed the format somewhere along the line where it was more of like a first come first serve thing on the app rather than it being a raffle back then.
Mhm.
Because I don't know where it changed because
I
like,
mean,
where
I
do
don't
people
know,
do
man.
spots for sneakers when it was a raffle at first? I'm like that to
In
me is
all
BS because then like
honesty, I thought the Sneakers app worked was as soon as it hit 10 o'clock per se, if you were the first ones to get your order in, you were getting the shoe. That's the way that I thought it was done. Then
no,
somebody told me, wait a minute, no, it's on a raffling system. So I've heard people say, well, change your gender. I've seen YouTube videos, but change your size. I've seen YouTube other videos tell me change your profile picture.
change your size.
I
You don't get
really don't know what it
book.
is. I swear to God, there's this one guy,
What?
and
Okay.
it's not Former Simpson, which I love for him. It's
yeah.
not I forgot. I think it's Rocco's or Roscoe's or whatever his name is. This man literally hits on everything, and he's showing you on his phone. I'm thinking to myself, bro, you must have a hookup somewhere. There's no damn way. If you're telling me that you're not running on a bot, if you're telling me that you're not getting any other connections except what a normal customer is, right? Which is they wake up at 9 o'clock, they erase all their captchas and cookies and all this other stuff, and they sit on a computer and wait for the release. And he always gets them. And I'm like, dude, like, are you working for Nike? Like, seriously. I mean, at this point, how can we not ask those questions, right? You had the Nike scandal happening with the mother and with the mother and son. Like, her son literally went through every single outlet out in the West Coast, bought every single shoe, got more shoes with her connections, and started selling them out of his own warehouse. I mean,
that was sad. I don't know why he gave out his plug, but
he's an idiot first of all, because he literally showed what he did, and he also took a video, and he did it from his own fucking warehouse. Like, that's just plain stupid. Like, I really don't know what you thought you were intending to do, but that wasn't smart at all. But yeah. So Paul is gonna get these beauties in hand. Can't wait to see them through the screen, and maybe hopefully he'll say, "Here, man, you can borrow them for one day."
I'm gonna send them. But
yeah, no.
You can get jealous.
Also, these I think these are also pretty cool because tomorrow, Kobe Bryant will be inducted to the NBA Hall of Fame. Sadly, I would have hoped that maybe before his passing that would have happened, but obviously, listen, those things we can't really predict, can't really say. So, all hell to Kobe. All right, so we'll move on to the Air Jordan 1 Shadow 2.0. Right? Is that what it is? Air Shadow.
Yes, it is.
2.0. Let me just pop it up real quick. I'm gonna. I love 23 is back, by the way. The .com, because they update it every single time. So these are the retro ones releasing tomorrow. These are the same pair that if you were with us about 5 minutes ago, I basically said if you are reserving these in Miami, the only freaking Nike store available was in Miami Beach. So if you were able to reserve a pair, hey, let us know. What the hell am I doing wrong? But yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, Paul. I love the silver tops more. I like the silver tops more. I've seen the leather up close and personal on these. I'm not a big fan on creases. But I don't know. It just feel like this shoe was maybe a shoe that they made and they waited and said, well, when can we sell it? And it was like, well, hey, there's no Jordan 1s coming out for a little bit. Let's just go ahead and release it. What do you think?
No, I think that initially I was like kind of like iffy just because I felt like it was a little too much gray. But even just looking at this picture you just posted like right in front of me right now, I actually kind of dig them.
You dig them?
Yeah, I feel like in just I guess fashion in general, that gray is a very underrated color if used the right way. And these are super clean. Like I actually own the original Shadow ones, like the OG colorway. And I mean, there's not a huge difference on it except for like I guess that panel holding the lace right there. That's normally black. I'm not sure if there's any, and I guess the what else is it? The wrapper around the toe. Oh, so the toe box is gray on the OGs, while the little thing wrapping
and
around
it's not suede though, so it's gonna crease up a little bit. But again, I guess for me, when I look at these, it just feels like they made the silver toes and they said, well, what can we do as a general release for men, right? And they just basically just flip-flop the thing. But again, it's an Air Jordan 1. And we said this from the beginning of our first show tonight. It's gonna sell, all right? People are gonna go out there with their bots and buy one at Shoe Palace, buy one at Undefeated, buy one at CLR, buy one at all these other spots, and they're gonna take pictures of every single size and be like, "Hey, who wants to buy today?" Right? So, I don't know. I guess if I had to rank it, I mean, listen, and we are gonna rank it because I feel like every single shoe expert does this, and I feel like, hey, why not? Let's just come up with our own 5R sneaks rankings, right? I also rank these on one, but by the way, I'm gonna give the Kobe's a 10. But if I don't get them, I'm gonna put it at 5. I'll give the Kobe's a 10. Yeah. If I don't get them, I'll put it at 5. So there you go. And I know Paul's gonna give him a 10 out of 10 because he's so damn lucky.
Oh yeah.
But I think but I think for these, I'm gonna give a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10, damn.
4. I don't know. A 4 out of 10.
I probably would give them a 6.5 out of 10. I do dig them.
Now you sound like Buckets from Folks Simpson. His freaking brother.
I'm not going head over heels over them. I would. I don't know. It's not like I need them. I mean, and things I'm coming from also already having the regular ones, but I mean, to anyone that still needs a one in their collection, I mean, by all means, this is a great starter. I think waiting until they re-released like the more OG colorways, like the Breads, the Royals, Shadows, the Chicago's even. So, and they don't come out that often too. So, I mean, these will do for now. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, again, no, I think you're right. I think this is a basic colorway that if you don't have any of the Breads, any of the Chicago's, the Blues, or anything, I guess it's a basic color that if you're an if you're a Las Vegas Raider fan, I mean, there's your shoe right there, right? There's no ifs or buts about it. Right there, you have the gray leather on the front of the toe box, and then on the top of it, it's a black leather. But to me, it's just going to crease too much after a couple of times. But that's the way shoes are. So,
the character, if anything, creases on the ones actually looks pretty clean. So.
Yeah. So, I don't have a picture of this next one, but did you see the Pharrell's times NM, right? NMDs. Aqua ones. Listen, personally, I'm not a fan of the word going up the shoe. Okay. I saw a pair of yellow ones on my boss at work, and I don't know, that just doesn't really, excite me too much.
It's a very, very unique shoe.
If I could pop it up,
I have those yellow ones actually.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have. I think I won via the Confirmed app initially.
There you go again. Winning another damn freaking thing. I can never win anything, dude. By the way, I've entered twice on the Confirm app for both Bad Bunnies. Nothing.
Oh, I imagine the Bad Bunnies is going to be hard as hell. But with these, I did not win. I thought it'd be hard, or no, I thought it'd be, I don't know, because I thought people go crazy over the yellow ones, and those are surprisingly easy to get, and they were going for retail on StockX. These I kind of really dig too, but I didn't win the raffle, but I'm not gonna go and pay resale for these, and resale probably isn't too bad anyway. But and things with these are okay. So these NMDs too are also just very unique. I think that they're not for anyone to. You can't expect anyone to just rock these. Like, you definitely have to plan out a fit to wear these and make them look nice, especially because they look different from a typical shoe, especially with that lacing system. But that little aqua blue.
Are you basically calling out the common fan just wants to sleep in his underwear and wear these? Like, come on, dude. What are you trying to say?
I get okay.
So you are right though. I've never realized that, because the lacing system comes from the ankle, right?
Yeah.
So it's basically it's like a boot. It's like the boot's here and the laces are covering you up at the ankle side. You still have that entire front foot just doing this.
Yes.
To the side.
They're mad comfortable though. I'll give that they're mad comfortable too. But I mean, to someone that isn't feeling them, I definitely can't blame you at all for them because they're very very different than the normal shoe.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I be honest, like I saw the yellow one, I wasn't that stoked about it. Maybe the white one because the lettering you don't really see too much. But again, it's Adidas, right? Like listen, if there's anything keeping Adidas kind of competing with Nike right now, it's Pharrell, it's Kanye.
Easy.
Because even let's be honest here, their basketball line, right? What is it? James Harden,
Dame.
Mitchell, Dame. Those shoes are about $100 a piece. Like anybody can have those.
Yeah.
So it's, to me, the way that Adidas makes those money is just creating different types of Ultra Boosts, right? Because right now it's all about,
for sure.
It's all about the boost, and also per se. So, all right, so let's just move on from that, guys. If we missed any sneakers though that you want us to talk about right now before the show ends, hit us up on that comment. I'll put a picture up and we'll talk about them. But these were the only 3 that I thought that were worth mentioning. Now, I want to go ahead and talk to you about our man Travis Scott, which I have to say again, I missed out on 10,000 raffles to get his 6s. It is what it is. I would assume you missed as well because you don't seem as excited talking about it.
I did miss that. I only did 1 though, but I think I don't know. I wasn't really gonna go all the way to find a way to get them.
Right.
At least like the 6s.
All right. So our man here has decided to show up and show off his Air Max 1. Now, when I look at this shoe, the first thing I noticed was how hideous, personally, that toe box is. Okay. Again, it's my preference, right? We all have our preferences. We all have our ways of looking at it. This is a shoe, though, I would probably say that if I win on a raffle, I won't get upset. But this is definitely not a cop that I'm going to go out there and try to see how much it is for resale, per se. But I just don't like, once again, he does the swoosh the other way. And then to me, it's that front toe box. I just don't find that to be appealing to me. Paul, what do you think?
It looks really like a trail shoe that that like Nike would put out. Like this doesn't look like something that's more, I guess, streetwear oriented. Like this is something that you wear if you are venturing out in nature or something. Like just because of these more earthy tones and like where those red laces coming from? That throws me off now.
I mean, I don't know. Somebody told me that the back heel has something for like a pocket knife or something, because you know how it is with the shoes, right? Because both 6s have this little pouch. There's nothing on the 1s. There's nothing on the 4s. By the way, to me, the cleanest Travis Scott is the 4s, the Houston Oilers. That to me, that one right there to me is like the cleanest one in my eyes. Besides maybe the 1 Lows Dunks. But yeah, no, I really don't know what the laces I really are supposed to say to us. It's just there. I'm still trying to. Well,
I'm getting Christmas vibes from it. It's really weird just seeing them here and me thinking like Christmas. I can't.
But again, it's like how I've been telling you. You know, our young generation of sneakerheads would look at this. Oh, it's another Travis Scott collab. I'm gonna go out there and get it. I mean, are you kidding me? Like it's something hot. It's something that pops to me. Something that I probably don't even like this colorway, and you're gonna have people go out there go crazy for them. And again, Nike once again to me is not doing their due diligence and giving us a story, right? Because when you see Travis Scott with the Houston Oilers force, there's history there, right? He grew up a Houston fan. The Oilers to him was very dear to him. Eric Campbell, Moon. Like those are the type of players that Travis Scott grew up watching. So when you see him wear those retro 4s, you know what that is. I don't know what the other switch the other way still is trying to tell us. Again, when I look at these, I just feel like they just wanted to make another shoe, another Air Max to make money, right? And we haven't even talked about the Air Jordan 1 Lows that are coming out and the high tops, which we'll get to those next week. But
it's I don't know. It's not it for me. I mean, I'm not. I like most of the Travis Scott collaborations. You know, I actually do like the swoosh, the backward swoosh, because I feel like I didn't think that's something that Nike would ever do or approve of, and I do like that Nike's kind of branching out and they're trying new things. But let's just say it, man. It's not for me. I can't imagine
Yeah.
myself
Yeah,
wearing
I
those.
mean, again, if I was to hit these on a raffle, I wouldn't be upset about it. It's just to me, it's not a shoe that I'm gonna go and look on Go to StockX every single week to see what's going on.
Yeah.
That's just me personally. Maybe I said the same thing about the 270s, and then when I saw them in hand, I was like, my God, I have to get them. But again, to me, those look way better than this. But again, Nike's gonna do what they're gonna want to do and make money. And right now, Travis Scott right now is making these collabs, and where it's not only us sneakerheads, right, from 30 plus years old. It's everybody else that's under 25 that knows Travis Scott. They know he's popping. Oh, this shoe is one I have to have. So that's what. So we'll just go ahead and move on. So we're gonna move on to our next segment called "What You Copped." All right, Paul, what have you copped lately? Because apparently I don't cop anything, and if I do cop something, it has to be for over retail price. So there you go.
So I mean, other than the Kobe's, I'm trying to think back to what
I've copped
recently too. I'm trying to, because the thing is, like, if it's not like regular like basketball sneakers, like I'm a huge Vans fan. Like I rock a lot of Vans.
By the way, rest in peace to the fan, the Vans,
Mr. Van,
I guess not owner, but I guess it's the person,
the founder,
right? Correct, right? So yeah,
Paul Van Doren.
Paul Van Doren. I mean, I remember there were only 3 types of Vans that I would go for. It would be the low top checkerboard, the all black low laces, and the all white laces. Those 3 to me were must-have shoes because they were just so basic, so comfortable that you can put anything on, whether it's shorts or jeans, and you're good to go. So
yeah, the slip-on. I think the slip-on checkerboards for me are like the most versatile shoe I have in my collection. I feel like it's just you can wear that with like anything that you have. Yeah. But okay, anything not Vans related, I think I did get the Carmines. I didn't pay too much for the Carmines. I'm still kind of, I mean, I love them. To me, like they're probably my favorite Jordan 6 colorway. But I mean, if I'm still. Thing is, with the whole thing that unfolded with Kobe, Vanessa, Nike, and that not happening anymore, like I'm actually just focused more on just the Kobe releases for the rest of the year because I feel like all of them are fire.
Correct.
But that's a different topic. But other than that, I got the Grinches, even though it's from like December.
Kill me more. You and Juan, by the way, guys. Our other co-host Juan, who's part of the First Yard and does a lot of Miami Dolphins coverage for us here on 5 Reasons. He's also the other sneakerhead. This man and Paul, they both were smart, right? They went ahead and what was it? Maybe 2 weeks before the official release, they went ahead and bought them, and I should have done the same thing, and I didn't. I thought I was going to get them. I thought the sneakers app was my lucky day, and so no, that wasn't.
Resale for the Grinches actually went up afterwards too. Like they're actually worth more now than they were at a pre-order, which is kind of crazy.
By the way, our comment here from Novocaine D-Way Linnings. So I've looked these up on StockX and on GOAT. Apparently, the official site for the Linnings shoes, right? They're Wade's, and they're also Jimmy Butler, which Jimmy Butler just came out with his white version of the Vice City ones. They came out, I believe, today in Asia. We don't have access to those. So the only way that anybody in this country has access to those is if you get them off those retail markets per se. So, but yeah. So one of the kicks that I have here that I copped after hearing what happened to Kobe and Nike, it really frustrated me, but then it made me realize, you know what? If I don't jump on these today, I really don't know they're even going to be available. So I got these from GOAT. The Kobe AD NXT 360s. I was trying to figure out which colorway to get, which one seemed cheapest at the time. And I was able to get these size 10.5 for $350. Now, mind you, the next price up after that went over 6. So I considered myself very lucky. So
let's see it.
There we go.
Oh,
yes.
That's a Lakers colors too.
Yes,
dang.
Correct. Now, what's so intriguing about this shoe, Paul, is that the entire shoe or the sole itself
removable?
It is all in here.
Oh wow!
Yes, correct.
Dang.
So this shoe is basically made to play on the court. I'm not a basketball player. I'm not wearing these on the court.
Okay.
But other than that, look at this. It's like you want to carry your shoe in your pocket. There you go. Carry the shoe in your every pocket. Very nice fine net. It's not that sturdy per se, but it is very, very comfortable.
Mhm.
But it's just one of those things that when you hear that Nike's not going to sign again with Kobe, something told me I need to jump on those. And to be able to find a pair of these for $350 compared to now, which is over $600, personally, I thought it was a steal. I also did order the Grinches. I sold 3 pairs for the Grinches. I sold the Air Jordan 1 Zoom PSGs. I sold about 2 Ultra Boosts for them. So I bought them for about $600 or something like that. And after I paid off whatever I got back when I sold the other ones, I basically paid retail for them, which is fine with me. I mean, in a way, sometimes you got to do these things, man. Like if you really want that shoe, if it means something to you, sometimes you have to give up a couple pairs that you haven't worn.
Yes.
So that's the way that I look at it. So this is definitely a shoe that I'll be wearing tomorrow in remembrance of our man Kobe Bryant. I mean, again, you know, to me, Kobe was my MJ. I watched MJ towards the end of his career. I didn't watch him in the 90s. I wish I would have, right? Because then you watch, you know, The Last Dance, and you see them those bull matchups with the Pistons and the Lakers, and even with Boston, and when he first showcased himself, I'm like, damn, like that's not basketball nowadays, right? It's just one of those things that I wish I could have done.
Oh, you reminded me too. So I did cop one of my Kobe Grails too, and it wasn't.
Let me guess, you won it on the raffle.
I know, no, it's an old shoe. But do you remember the Prelude pack?
Hold on. This is funny. Looks like a sponsor. Come on, what you mean, Nova Kane? It's LA Lakers all day, bro. Look at that yellow and gold.
Like, I'm thinking of the Kyries when Kyrie did the SpongeBob and Patrick pack like a year or 2 ago.
Yeah, dude. Can I be honest? I really wish I was in that meeting whenever Nike talked with KD and Kyrie about what their shoe plan is. It's just I don't understand. I don't know. I just don't know because LeBron is gonna sell. LeBron's gonna have high tops. LeBron's gonna have lows. LeBron has figured it out. Let me bring back my LeBron 8s. Let me bring back all these famous colorways that people didn't have an opportunity to get, and let me all of a sudden put Nike right back on the map. But I really don't know what goes through. You know, listen, the Kyrie Irving concepts I think are dope. That it's the baby blue top with I think it's an orange bottom. I mean, it looks okay. It's not nothing crazy. But again, I think when you look at KD's and Kyrie's and James Harden with Adidas with Mitchell, it doesn't have that pop anymore that a sneaker once had. To me, the Charles Barkleys of the 94s are classics. The Scottie Pippen Maxes to me are just crazy good. And of course, Jordan is Jordan. It just feels like there's no other player besides maybe Wade, right, in Asia, in China, which Linden has taken. Listen, I've talked to people overseas, and those shoes are far more difficult to get. Like the day they're supposed to get released is the day they sell out in less than, I guess, 3 hours from before they're even supposed to be on sale. So
I did not even know that.
Yeah. No. By the way, for anybody that doesn't know, I am part of a sneaker Discord called Soul Savvy. I love what they do. I don't know if you ever heard of them. Our man DP, he runs this whole thing from Vancouver, Canada. We basically are a community that try to help others get shoes that we weren't able to do because of the bots and things like that. Yeah, exactly. So, and then he also has his people out in Asia, which, dude, when I heard that Lennings are hard to get, I'm like, damn. And here we are frustrating ourselves with Kobe's. We can't even get ahead. But, you know, listen, you thought that the sneakers app in the US was a pain in the ass. The sneakers app in China just uploaded it. It just basically uploaded itself about 2 weeks ago, right? Like they had nothing new on there because they're going through a transition of cotton, or something like that. So a lot of those sales are going down. But But yeah, this is one of the shoes that I'll be wearing tomorrow in retrospect of Kobe.
Mhm.
And my final cop. What does that mean?
Jordan.
What does that mean, Nepal? What does that mean right
box, there? I've not seen that box.
You have not seen that box?
No.
Oh, man. So let me introduce you to the
Let me see it.
Off-White Jordan 5.
Oof. Oh my God. Chill out, bro. Chill out. Chill out.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I don't know what else to say.
Dang.
Maybe at a 5 Reasons meetup.
Yo, when everything clears up and
By the way, I think what Virgil did in making the bottom gum, the dirty gum or like the used gum, I think was a great idea. By the way. Oh wait, these came out All-Star Weekend, I believe, of 2019, right? Or was it of 2020? Maybe 2020. Maybe 2020. Oh yeah, so these are the latest two that I've added to my collection. I'm still waiting on the Grinches. Goat is telling me that they had issues sending them to me. So you know what? Surprisingly, the Grinch prices have gone down.
Really?
Oh yes, I bought them for $6.56, and they're now under $6. So the prices are going down.
On Goat?
Yeah, on the Grinches.
Wait, are we talking like the OG ones, or are we talking about the 2020?
No. We're talking about the 2020.
Okay.
OG ones are going for outrageous prices, by the way, though.
Yes,
I don't know.
I also have those.
Yeah, that goes so.
But,
yeah, so I mean, we'll listen. If you're one of those that's gonna wake up tomorrow early in the morning, try to get those Air Jordan 1s 2.0 shadows, I wish you nothing but luck.
Yeah.
If you are a person that operates with a bot, don't tweet at me.
No link us, man. No link, Manny.
If you want to raffle and you want to be kind enough to purchase and order a size 10.5 and 11, let me know. That is my Twitter handle right there. You can let me know, please. So listen, 42 minutes. I thought this show was going to be 15.
There's a lot to talk about, man. There's always a lot to talk about in sneakers.
Yeah, man. So let me just look real quick on what is coming out next week in Jordan World. That's why I love. Ooh, wait a minute. These we're definitely going to talk about next week. Like
which ones?
Which ones? I'm gonna show you now. The PSG 7s.
Those are clean.
Right?
Those are really clean.
I don't know
if I love the netting, like that. The netting in the middle.
They do a lot. So one thing I realized when it comes to PSG and Jordan, they do a lot of shoes like this that have the bright colors coordinated with the dull colors right next to it. Because if you see the navy, then you see the red, and then you always have that Paname little tag, which I don't know what that means. But I mean, listen, if you've never owned a Retro 7, I mean, this will probably be an okay one to cop for your whole collection, maybe.
It reminds me of the Olympic 7s from 2013 or 2012, one of those years. Looks very, very similar. And also, I just looked it up. Paname is actually the surname of Paris. So,
got you. Damn. I feel like I kind of feel like I should have known that. By the way, the Retro 3 women's, the Rusted Pinks are finally supposed to get released. Here are they. I think is a pretty good looking sneaker. Again, though, I'm very iffy on suede. You get one thing on suede. I mean, if you are a clumsy person, if you are my girlfriend's gonna yell at me because I used that word earlier. If you are a person that does not give a shit about scuffing your shoes, this is probably a pair that I wouldn't recommend for you. That's all I'm gonna probably say. Yeah. Again, it's a pretty nice shoe, or so to say. Our man Nova he needs a new shoe design. Who needs a new shoe design? Are you talking about the PSGs? I don't know what you're talking about. By the way, there was a new Twitter follower. He followed me today, and I followed him. The man literally had his back wall all Jordan 1s.
Sheesh.
It looked. I thought it looked absolutely beautiful.
Very soft.
He needs a new short. Okay, let me just tell you one thing. Michael Jordan is in the time of his life where he's not going to talk about shoe design. He's not going to talk about what needs to change.
Mhm.
Michael Jordan's name brand is going to sell on its own. That's
Yeah.
one. Number two, there's just, listen, if Nike and Jordan was smart, bring back the 3 cements. Keep coming back with the original Jordans that we all fell in love with. But they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. And they want to keep it limited. I found out, maybe 2 months ago, they have a really good, small, low-key deal with StockX. That also got me upset. Because now that makes sense now. It makes sense why there's so many sneakers coming out on releases that people like me and you, well, not really like me, because you win freaking everything. Like me, we can't even get a hold of. You know what I mean? So listen, Jordan, it's not about Jordan coming up with a new design. I think Jordan's trying. I do have a pair of the MA2s. I don't know if you remember those. They're gonna now they came out now with a Concord color. They came out with a True Bread color, and they came out with a only women's edition that on the tag it said, I think it said "power to the female" or something like that along those lines. So Jordan's trying, but it's at the end of the day, they're gonna make any original retro, the 1, the 3, the 4, even the 6s sometimes, but the 11s they're gonna make them in all different colors and models because they know that fans are gonna buy them regardless. Novocaine is smart, but damn, it's just the same shoes as it. I totally agree, but it's what's gonna sell, my man. It's what's gonna make money. Okay, StockX is not gonna make money off 1,000 MA2s. StockX is gonna make money off
of the Jordan 35 or the 34 or even the Zions. I think it's a little bit. I mean, the thing is, retros are what has made MJ his empire. Like, you gotta understand, it does seem like I'm thinking about how I just thought about this like recently, where I feel old when I've seen the same Jordan release more than twice. But thing is, it sells. Think about I think Jordan Brand's making $1 billion a year. MJ makes about 80 mil off of that. It sells, and I think that even I don't know if you're talking like in regards to like maybe like the newer ones like the 35, the 36 or whatever. It's different now because I think they're now just more focused on the technology. Like they're focused on making a shoe that players would want to wear on the court, and that's something that's advanced. It's and you got to think about just like how they design shoes. Like I feel like mines now are more advanced than back in the 80s and 90s. Like they're making more, I guess, futuristic looking shoes that you'd want to wear in the court. And I mean, even though let's say me or you would not buy them or whatever, people that are new to the game might love them. And then especially if they see guys like who's Jordan Brand, Zion, Russ, even.
And Luka,
they kind of have their own signature shoes, but like some other guys, that wear them, then I think even Jason Tatum too.
I am hoping that Bam somehow goes to Jordan, and I know he signed that deal with them, which is I think it's awesome. It's great, right? Yeah. I mean, it's always wonderful to see one of your own players sign with that brand. But I hope that listen, I don't know his history on if he's a sneaker guy or not. But I hope that Jordan makes him a shoe for him and that he can actually, grow off it. Because to me, Bam has an opportunity, not only because he signed the max deal, because there's just so much pressure on him to perform. But, when you have that max contract signed and dotted, when you now have a contract with Jordan, there are certain types of expectations now that go on with that. Not only for the league, but for the fan base, especially down here. So I'm just hoping that, Bam, he makes a shoe that fits him, it resembles him, and that it kind of brings in a little bit of that old nostalgia Nike Jordan back. Because nothing against Zion, nothing against Luka, who's wearing those 35s that have that giant gap of a circle, all right? That's not it. That is not it. I'm not paying $200 for that. I'm so sorry. I don't care if Luka wins 6 championships. You wouldn't. I am not entering a single raffle for any of those Zions. Looks pretty nice. Looks pretty dope. It's not. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I actually don't 95% of the Jordan signature shoes that they make for players, I don't really like. Don't like. I can only name two Jordan signatures that I've actually liked for their players, and that's the Melo 1.5 super
Mm-hmm.
clean shoe, and then I think the CP3 6, which I think a lot of people compared to like how the Kobe's feel. It's a very simple shoe. A great performer on the court. So I mean, you can't really complain about that. But other than that, like I haven't really liked. I don't love the Zion shoe. I don't love any of the Russell Westbrook shoes.
Yeah.
Who else? I'm leaving out.
And but
I
then
just I don't know.
here's the thing that's more frustrating. These are players that are well known in our league. And yet, when you think of Dwayne Wade and you see him, he went from Converse. He almost signed a deal with Nike, but didn't. He backed off of it, and now he's signing with another competitor out west in Linden. Which, in all honesty, we don't even have an opportunity to actually get these because they want to keep it over there per se, and it's doing great. But again, listen, you're gonna have fans that are gonna buy everything Nike. And my thing is, don't get sucked into what you think is hot. For any sneakerhead that's listening, go out there and get the sneaks that you feel are important to you. You don't have to buy those Travis Scott sixes at over retail. Okay, I wanted to get those. I didn't get them. I'm not gonna budge. I'm sorry. I have told myself I'm not a millionaire. I work very hard for my money and I take care very good of my sneakers. Do not go out there and try to get every single shoe because at the end of the day, you should kind of understand and realize the meaning behind that or that particular silhouette. And if to you it just says, I just want it because others want it, you shouldn't buy it. You shouldn't buy it. And nothing against Zion. I'm happy for him. He's young. He signed that deal.
Yes.
But now ask me when Bam comes out with his shoes, I want you to ask me if I'm going to get them. They can be hideous as shit. I'll probably get them.
Oh, no. No, Bam's getting his money regardless. But I'm with you, Manny, too. Just like, I bet like we're gonna have people, kind of looking at us and kind of wanting to get our opinions on upcoming releases, upcoming shoes that are coming out. But at the end of the day, if you like it, go ahead and cop it.
Yeah. So
like they're on your feet, at the end of the day. And if you feel they're fire, they're fresh, and that you can definitely pull off a fire fit with them, by all means, go and cop.
For sure. So we're gonna talk about just one more shoe supposed to release. What you think about these?
Ooh, damn! I might be craving a McChicken right now. I automatically thought of the old. There was it was not a McDonald's one, but there was a Jordan 1 colorway a few years ago. I forgot which year, where it had like a very McDonald's feel to them, even more so than these. Like there was no white on them for November. Like I'm trying to remember what they were called, and then I think they may have hit outlets too. But I don't know.
I like them, but it's not for me. It's not for me. Now watch. Somebody will do a video on them and might be Former Simpson and he'll convince me. Look, because Former loves AJ1s, right? So he'll go out there and flip the shoe with you. He'll look at it, he'll put it on. Oh, look at it, I dig it, and he might convince me. But at first glance, again, guys, when you look at a shoe, first glance, and if it doesn't excite you, probably shouldn't get it. But again, this is another Air Jordan 1 silhouette. People are gonna go crazy for it. They're gonna go like right now. Whoever's watching this is going on StockX. Oh, how much are these coming out to? Right? Because it's all about that game nowadays. I mean, so to me, it's nice. It's okay. It just doesn't make me say I need them.
Yes. So. I think maybe if you need a shoe to rock to the Heat playoff games, this could go well with different. But that red just looks very faded.
Yeah, so according to the color description, it says red pink.
Red pink. I think that's it. Just it's two in the middle. Okay, so I found the shoe. It's the Jordan 1 highlight reel.
Oh, it's the highlight reel.
Yeah. So I think where the white is, there's black, and then the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember those from a while back.
Yeah, maybe.
They're basically flipped. When I think about it, they're basically just a flipped, like where it's white, it's black, and whatever. But right. But yeah, man, I think this okay. Initial reaction, maybe okay. These aren't too bad, but
no, it's not too bad. I just wouldn't buy them.
Yeah, no, same.
Just-
I'm more of an OG colorway kind of guy.
Correct.
For the furthest I'll probably branch out, probably like either Travis Scott's or the Fragments, even. But I mean, those aren't bad. I'll probably give it like
I'm gonna give him a 5 out of 10.
I'll give him a 6. I'll
6.
give him a 6 just because it's still
You're-
a clean.
I'm like Fulmer, and you're like his brother Buckets. I'm just gonna give a little bit more.
Isn't Buckets the more critical one? Like I feel like
He is. He's
Okay.
very, very critical, by the way. So.
Just making sure.
All right, Paul. I think we're gonna end it here, man. 55 minutes of talking sneakers. Jesus Christ! Again, I thought the show was only going to be 15 minutes. Thank you guys if you watched us or per se. We are gonna do this every single week. Next week, I don't know whoever has the availability. You can follow us. Those are our Twitter handles at the bottom. If you have any questions, any topics you want to talk about next week, any comparisons to any Jordan number,
Let us know what you caught.
As we grow and per se and whatnot, I do want to have a couple of our listeners on the show that do have a good amount of collections. Maybe we could do a head-to-head thing per se. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll have a show next week. And if you're gonna, be waking up tomorrow early, man, make sure you beat them bots unless you already basically have one. So, by the way, Paul, I don't know what's gonna happen, but you're gonna have to lend me those Kobe's, man.
I'll not happen.
At least lend me the shoelace a little bit.
The gold shoelace. I'll give you the spare laces. Maybe.
There we go. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your Friday.